Hello everyone. Tonight we got something a little different. I have a storage unit. I moved recently, and in my garage I had basically a home machine shop with a bunch of big machines. You can kind of see back there a little bit. One of these machines, it's going. Somebody bought it, and they're coming to pick it up tomorrow. So I got to get it up on skates and get it out to the door so the riggers can come and pick it up and set it on a trailer tomorrow. So I thought I'd bring you along. This is how I move big machines. Your mileage may vary. I'm just a guy that has to move a machine. I don't know what the proper safety things are, but I'll show you the equipment I got and how I do it, so you can do with that what you will. But I'll bring you along. First thing I gotta do is get a lot of this stuff out of the way and come up with a plan. So I'll bring you back. All right, so here's some of the equipment that I have that I use. These guys here, they can handle massive amounts of weight, but they're really hard to get moving because they're like train track or tank tracks. So sometimes they get caught on the roller there, and you got to kind of go over like almost like a hump. And if there's something small on the floor, it can actually impede them from moving forward. Then you have this style, which these wheels right here, they swivel. Again, that can handle massive amounts of weight. The issue with those is if you switch directions, you have to generate enough force for the wheels to spin to go in the plane you're trying to go. So those are difficult to use as well. So what I prefer is I prefer these guys, these blue ones. They just have 4 wheels apiece. There's another one back there. The issue with these are, if you want to change direction, you have to jack it up, jack the machine up, and then turn the whole skate. So except for this one here, which has a swiveling plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one here with the swiveling plate. I'm going to put that down at this end, so that way I don't have to do as much work there. So just jack it up, spin it, but it will spin really easy because it has the bearings on the top. So, and also once I get it out far enough, there's a bar that attaches to it right there with those holes there, and you can actually turn it that way. So it's just going to be getting it out of here that's going to be the other issue. So I can put one of the blue ones under here, the fixed skate, and then one on the opposite side here. And what I have to do here, because of where the machine is, let me give you a better view. So you can see I can't come straight out with the machine because the Cincinnati table's in the way. Well, you say move the table. Okay, I can't because the wall's there. So that was put in that way to kind of try and maximize the space within this storage unit. So I could put a bunch of stuff under it and it wasn't that big a deal. But now it's a big deal. So what I'm going to try and do is, since that table is a limiting factor, I'm going to put the skates at an angle here, and I'm going to bring it out at an angle until it clears this table here. And then what I'll do is then I'll kick the far end around to straighten it out. So the goal is in the morning is to have it on the skates and have it pointed straight so it can come right out the door. So the difficulty I have doing this is there's a bunch of stuff laying around here, and this stuff has to go back in here tonight because, you know, obviously I can't leave the door open. So that's the challenge here, is trying to get the machine ready to move tomorrow, so that way, you know, I'm not horsing around tying these guys up while they're waiting for me to get the machine to the door. The goal is get the machine ready to go, lined up here so it can come straight out. And what I'd like to do is as it's coming out, backfill the space behind it with a lot of this stuff, so that way in the morning when I come over, it's not all right here, and then I have to move it out to the parking area, and that's just going to get in the way of the trailer and the riggers, and I just don't want to deal with that. So right now you can see I got a pallet jack and a engine hoist sitting here, and that's fine. Some of this stuff obviously has to come out of here tomorrow, and you can see there's parts of truck in a box here as well. I'm gonna end up getting rid of that, but I want to make sure I have all the information off of it, measurements and all that stuff, try and find part numbers. If you're not watching that series, go check that out. I got a bunch of videos on that. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to pull all the stuff that might get in the way out, and then I'm going to put the skates under it and get it rolling this way at an angle, so that then all I have to do is just kick the far end around to straighten it out. So I don't know, we'll see if it works. I think it will, but you know, it's kind of tight as far as getting skates in under here. You can see over here, you know, there's not a lot of room to work with. So I'm going to take my toe jack, it's called a toe jack, because the toe goes all the way to the ground. There's a couple variations of these. That's the one I like to use. There's one here. It's got a bigger toe, so it's a lot thicker, so it doesn't really get into really tight spots. And then I also have, let's see if I can find it. It's over here. This is actually a really good jack, and I got that off Amazon. It's really cheap. So the only modification I made to that, and I can leave a link down in the description where you can get that on Amazon. I think eBay sells them too. The only modification I made is those feet, they turn, those little feet right there, they turn to keep it from flipping forward. But there's instances where the feet, you know, can't go under the machine. So what I did was I machined, maybe I can pull it out and get a better picture for you, is I machined two steel bars that go next to the toe, a lot like this one over here. So you can see there's a little protrusion there. So when these feet are spun around like that, you can get level, up there, hot rod, you can go level up to the machine and it won't have a tendency to tilt as much. But that's only to get it off the ground. So what you do is you only use that enough to get it to where you can slide the feet underneath it, which these feet are pretty thin, so it doesn't take much to get there. Fortunately for me, I had foresight, and this machine right now is sitting up on wooden blocks. I have blocks staggered along the full length of the machine. So that way I can get my toe jack under there with no problems and get the skates under it. In case you're wondering, this is a Rockford hydraulic planer. I don't know when it was made. I don't know what the date is on it. But it's a massive machine. It's got side head, traveling cross head. It's pretty massive. and it weighs, the book says 15,000 pounds or 14.5, and then sitting on a pallet it's like 15,000. So the way we're going to lift it is those covers come off of there, that little vented cover. It comes off, there's one on the other side, so you can run a strap or a chain through there, and that's how you pick the front up. And then there's another hole here that goes straight through, you can see there. And then there's one hidden underneath here as well. The lighting's kind of bad, but you can kind of see it there. So it's 3 straps, and then you take an overhead crane and you pick it up. So, but right now I need to get all this stuff out of here so that I can actually get in there and get the skates under there and start inching it forward. Another essential tool for doing this is this bar. I forget what it's called. But how I move this guy is, and I'll show you as I move it. I move it very slowly. It's just me. You probably shouldn't be doing this by myself, but it is what it is. So I only move it like an inch at a time, and you can use that bar because there's no way I can push it. So how I do it is I put the bar underneath the front edge there, and I just lever it up, and it starts to move it forward. So I'll show you a little bit of how I do that. But I only move it, very small increments. So, it might take an hour to move this thing into position, and that's fine. I'm not in a hurry. So safety is paramount here, because if something goes bad, unless I have my phone in my pocket and I'm able to use it, then it's very bad. So just take your time, just be cautious, move it a little bit at a time, make sure none of the skates are moving out from under the machine. This will only have 3 points, which is what they recommend for moving this kind of stuff, because if you put a 4th skate under there, what can happen is the load's not, or the floor is not level. So what happens is one of the skates can come out from underneath it, you don't realize it, and it gets so far and then it falls over. So we cannot have that happening here. So it's going to be on 3 points, 3 rollers. Like I said, there'll be one on that side, one on the other side, and one down at the end. So let me finish getting this stuff moved out of the way, and then I'll show you how to get the skates underneath it. All right, this is probably going to be the one I can give you the best view of how I do this. So you can see I got the toe jack underneath the end of the machine. I got the feet pointed forward, and I got the skate there ready to go under it. Because you don't want the jack to support the weight forever. There's probably just a little O-ring in there that keeps it from collapsing. So you want to try and do things in a timely manner, not rush, but just efficiently. So we got the jack tightened. So now we're just going to jack it up. You can see it's starting to bear weight now. So we just want to jack it up. And we just want to jack it up far enough to get that skate under there. You don't have to be a foot off the ground. Just enough to get that skate under there. Good enough. All right, so there's a board under there already. One thing you never want to do is put your fingers under there. board out. Over here, pull it all the way out. But again, you don't put any body parts under the machine when it's lifted. Oh, it's got to go a little more. So like I was saying, I want to bring it out at an angle. So I guess that's about a 45, give or take. So I'm going to lower it onto there. Just loosen the knob. You see it come down. So now it's resting on the skate. One thing I like to do, I got this tip from Tom over at Ox Tools for moving machines. You make these wedges and they work really well. But what I like to use them for is a stop. So that way, as I'm lifting the other sides, it keeps it from wanting to move once it's all up on wheels. Luckily, this area is pretty flat, so I haven't experienced that inside here. So, all right, so I'll repeat that on the other two sides, or one end, the other side, and I'll bring you back once it's up on wheels. All right, so I got that one on there. I got that one, and come over here. I got this one on the opposite side. All right, I couldn't reach that board. It'll be fine because it's coming out. It shouldn't get interfered with anything. So, what I'm gonna do now is, like I said, I'm gonna use this, I think they're called Johnson bars or something like that, I don't know. It's just a big bar that I'm gonna use as leverage underneath the machine. And I'm going to move it like an inch at a time, or maybe not even an inch, because slow and steady wins the game here. So it's all about safety. Move it a little bit, check it. Move it a little bit, check it. So what you do is just pull up on the bar and see. It starts to move. And get it rolling. And what I like to do is, so I stop. Moved it maybe a couple inches, and then what I like to do is, I like to make sure all the skates are where I left them previously. Make sure that it's not hung up on something and they start sliding out from under the machine. So you can see that board, it's almost clear now. So, as you can see, let me back up a little bit. All this stuff's by the door. As you can see, we gotta go to the left that much. So we can, excuse me. So we can clear the end of that table. So, all right, I'm gonna keep moving it. Wish me luck. All right, here's where we're at. I got it far enough away from the table. It's a little bit crooked in there, so it's not gonna come straight out. But the plan is in the morning, I think I'm gonna replace these skates with the the ones that have 3 and 4, like these. I'm gonna replace the ones that are under there with these guys. So that way we can adjust it on the fly, because I would assume what's gonna happen, the riggers will grab this guy and just pull it out with a winch or something, cable drive, something or another. So I think that's gonna be it for me tonight. It's hot, I am wiped. But what I did do was I took off these plates that I showed you earlier so we can run straps through them. So I put those guys and screws. Yeah, get some. So this was missing one screw. I got the other 3. So these holes go all the way through the casting here. Let's see. So we'll probably run straps through there, or chain or something through there. You got that guy, and then obviously you got that guy up there. So that's the plan. And I guess I'm gonna get all this stuff back in here for now. And I don't know. See what I'm gonna come over before the riggers get here and try and, like, you know, all this stuff's got to go in boxes and get ready to travel. So, man, it's just so hot. So that's the plan right now. Change those skates out and get this guy ready to pull out. So I'll bring you guys back tomorrow, kind of show you how we're doing it, or how it's going to get done. But yeah, man, this thing is massive. Whew. I can't wait for this thing to be done. You know, everything about this thing is just massive. I mean, look at that thing. It's huge. So, all right, I'll bring you guys back tomorrow. I'll probably just end up putting this on a tripod or something and just recording, kind of show how we go about doing this. So this is actually new to me. I never moved one like this before. This machine was moved via a rollback. So what they do is they just winch it up on the back of the rollback and, you know, chain it down, tie it down, and then when they bring it here, they scoot the tail end off. They scoot this end off and put a skate under it, and then it keeps, you know, rolling out. And then once they get to the end over there, I put skates, you know, kind of like how it's set up now, and then we just roll it right in. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow. They're bringing an overhead crane, I think, and they're just going to lift it up, and hopefully everything goes smoothly and it's on the trailer and get it strapped down and everything's good. So, all right, that's it for tonight. I'll bring you guys back tomorrow and show you the finale.